Good afternoon. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Live Interviews with Connie Fuksa. I have the distinct pleasure of searching out and having conversations with some of the most amazing entrepreneurs across the country. And I do this because I want you guys to understand the process that people go through. You know, people see something or feel a passion or see a need for something to be done and decided to take advantage of it or decided to take it to the next level. And then they also, I want to share with you guys that it's not a direct path from starting something to having some success. Usually there's a lot of road bumps and there's a lot of mud puddles, if you will, that people go through. And so I'm bringing to you this series because I want to share these kinds of stories with you guys, because I want you to understand that the person that you see on social media right now that's killing it is not killing it because it magically happened. There's a lot that goes into these things. So today I have the distinct pleasure and really excited to share with you guys a lady that I just recently met through someone else, again, which I want to tell you guys, if you meet somebody or you know someone that would be a great entrepreneur to share their story, message me about that, because that's how I meet these incredible people. And I'm so fortunate to be doing this. Recently, I met this amazing lady that you guys are going to meet here and now, Tina McDermott. Tina, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I am thrilled that you're with us. So Tina, do us this. Please start by telling us who you are, where you came from, how you got to where you are now, and what is it that you're doing right now. Tell us your story.
Oh my gosh. First of all, Connie, I want to say, when you're talking about mud puddles, when you go through the mud puddles, I have had to wash lots of mud off of my face. It's all good. And funny thing, I'm a mountain biker as well, so lots of mud through my journey. So you want to know where I started, where I am. There's a lot there. Oh my gosh. You know, my father was a barber, off the boat Italian barber, and he supported his family by cutting hair. And he taught me the fundamentals of being an entrepreneur without even telling me, just by showing me. And I knew early on that I just couldn't work for anybody. I needed to work for myself. But it took me 30 years to figure it out. Took me a long time to figure it out. I literally, I lived in Italy for a good 5 years, guiding bike trips throughout the country. And I came back to the United States and I started working in gyms and personal training, and I loved it. I loved personal training, but I hated working for other people. And I still kept going. I still worked for other people for a while. And during this time, though, people always came to me for weight loss, as well as the personal training. So that led me into becoming a weight loss expert over the last 20 years, almost 20 years. I don't want to date myself too much here. So yeah. And so I got really, really tired of working for these gyms and these people that, you know, even when I was in Italy guiding bike trips, I always thought in my head, I know I can do this better. And I did. So I got really tired working for the other person and being micromanaged. I'm like, I'm a self-starter. Let me just go do this by myself. So I rented a studio, and oh my gosh, it was the biggest leap of faith I'd ever taken. And that was 8 years ago, July, next month. Yeah. So I opened my own personal training studio. And again, people always came to me for weight loss. So I started doing weight loss coaching online, because a lot of my clients would move here, move there. I'm like, well, we'll just coach you online. So I'm a weight loss coach, which is great, because over the last 5 years, I've established myself with this online world that the entire world was thrown into several months ago. And I was already had 2 feet planted in this world. I was already set up to go. I just needed to build my business, which takes me to the next piece. Oh my gosh. As you well know, all of the gyms are closed. After almost 8 years, I had to permanently close my personal training studio. It gives me chills when I think about it, Connie, because I'm actually going to tear up in a second, because it was the biggest leap of my life to do that. And it was the biggest thing that I had to do to close it.
Mhm.
Not all of my clients went online, but a quarter of the personal training clients did. And I realized, Tina, it's okay. You are a weight loss coach. You have 2 feet planted. Actually, it was 1.5 feet planted in the online, coaching world. I'm just going to dive in. I'm going to pivot and I'm going to dive in. I have coaches that coach me, and I did all of the online trainings that I could possibly do. And I realized I am a leader in my field of weight loss and movement. When I say movement, I mean about moving your mass. Like I never even sit still when I'm on camera. And so I needed to pivot. So I reached out to a lot of my corporate clients that did the weight loss programs with me, as I would always go to the corporates and do nutrition courses or weight loss courses. And I pivoted to go online. So my cooking demos that I would do in person have now become these online virtual cooking demos that I just did one today. And I had 150 people on the line chatting with me as I'm cooking. We had such a blast. And now my clients are scheduling once a month throughout the entire year. So I've gained a new title. It's Chef Tina.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and I incorporate everything that I know about nutrition and weight loss and how to live healthy, vibrant, and free as I'm teaching you to cook the way that my mom, off the boat Italian, taught me how to cook. I'm so gratified and so happy that I was thrown into this pivot to be where I am today, Connie.
Gosh, there's so much here, Tina. This is so cool. All right, so I've been writing notes and I'm already at 2 pages. So much energy here. This is so much fun. But what I love is, so let's first talk about this. So we start as a mountain bike trainer. So you ride mountain bikes, and I love how you said, when I talked about mud puddles, how you said you always get mud on your face. That was funny. But it's true. So like we all go through these things, and in your case, some of it was a little bit more realistic. But so you did mountain bike training in Italy for a while and said, wow, this is really cool. Something I love, something I can make a little bit of money at, and took advantage of something that was a need that was out there and incorporated what you really loved in it. So what made you start there? I mean, you were doing mountain biking and somehow you turned it into a business. That's really cool.
Well, yeah. So I want to clarify a couple of things. I was in my previous life, in my 20s, I was a travel agent, and I always loved road cycling as well as mountain biking. And just to clarify something, I am passionate about both. I love them both. You don't ask me to choose. So I got a little tired of the corporate world. And I just quit. I said, I'm gone. I'm going to Italy, and I'm going to go ride my bike, and I'm going to guide tours. I'm going to do tours throughout Italy. And I did that for 5 years.
I love it. I love it. I mean, most people say I'm sick of the corporate world and go, all right, what am I going to do about it? No, you quit and then you move to another country. I love it.
I moved to another country. I read a book. Can I mention a book that I read?
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Yeah, I read a book called What Color is Your Parachute? Do you know that book? What Color is Your Parachute? It's a very old book. What Color is Your Parachute? And it helped me figure out that I did not belong in the corporate world. Although I was there from the age of 19 to 27, I didn't belong there. I put all my passions together of cycling, of Italy. As a young, when we were growing up, every summer we would be in Italy. My parents would just really instill family, and 2 months we were in Italy. So I grew up with the language, and so I love Italy. I love all my relatives there. I go there, I'm home. And I put cycling together, bicycling, Italy, and travel. I love travel. I was a travel agent for so long. So I put it all together and I made it happen. And at the last year, I even had my own tour with a friend of mine. We did a whole tour of the Tour de France. We had our clients from America. It was such an amazing adventure. And it's hard to believe that was 20 years ago, Connie. That was 20 years ago.
So
Yeah.
fun. I love that. All right. So you're doing mountain biking. And then you said, I really want to be a personal trainer. And you went to work for a gym. Obviously, you love the personal training, helping people become more healthy, but couldn't stand, again, we go back to this common theme, working for other people. So some people follow a pain, a need, a passion. Some people follow what they know to be right for their life. And in your case, it's a little bit of both, but there is that common theme that you just didn't like working for corporate America, for other people. And so then you went to personal training yourself and opened your own studio. So let's talk about that for a minute, because here's the thing that most people don't get when they say, "Oh, I want to go do XYZ for a living. I want to be a gardener. I'm going to go take care of people's personal flowers," whatever that happens to be. But they don't realize what it takes behind the scenes to make that job a living, or a business. So talk to us a little bit about that, because that was a little bit of an awakening for you, I'm sure, what you had to do to make that business function outside of just the activity of the business itself.
Well, okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. To open a studio, you have to get all kind of permits. I mean, you have to jump through hoops, and then when that hoop was done, then they throw you another hoop with another hoop in the side of it, and then and then I had to draw my own schematics, and then had to get that approved, and then I had to get the fire approval. Oh my gosh, there was so much, and one of the things that I did, because I'll be very transparent, Connie. My biggest fear was paying the rent. I had clients who followed me to 3 different gyms because they closed or I didn't like them. They followed me, and I'm talking all of my clients followed me, and I knew that they would follow me. So I had a business, I had clients. Money wasn't an issue, but it was. So what I did is I got a co-renter, and then I got two co-leasers to start with me. Do you want to know the pain that I went through dealing with? One of them I knew for a long time, and I knew she was a little challenging. The other one I had just met recently, and boy, was that a disaster. She moved in, and I asked her to move out 2 weeks later.
Oh my.
2 weeks later, I said, I will deal with paying the rent. I will deal, but I am not going to deal with drama. Drama does not go well with me. So that was a huge learning lesson, that you don't go into business with somebody that you only met a week ago or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. You really need to understand that person inside out, backwards, forwards. And that was huge. And then the second co-leaser, she didn't even start her business. Oh my gosh. She had all of her stuff in there, and she used it as a storage place. And that was a challenge. It took me 3 years to why did I wait 3 years, Connie? I don't know. But I finally asked her to leave.
Paying rent by yourself is scary, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what it was. It was scary. So I asked her to leave, and it was just me. It was just me. And I managed just fine. Just fine. I've had clients for almost 20 years that have been following me. I'm fine.
Not just the rent, but obviously getting the studio started. But tell us some of the other things that you might have experienced, because I don't imagine that you probably have employees, but you had to figure out, you actually started a business. So, you have some legality side, you have some keeping side, you have all of these other things, and you have taxes, you have, all of these things to deal with that maybe you're not thinking about. When you're opening that business, you're just going to make sure that everybody gets your personal training, and you've got that all worked out.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about all of those things because they're so normal for me now. The insurance, my insurance went up. My insurance went up threefold. And then I had to pay electricity, and then I had to get an LLC to make sure that I'm protected. Thank goodness at the time I had the wherewithal about me to have a coach. So I did have a business coach who guided me through these pieces. I hired an attorney to help me with the LLC. Come to learn later on that why did I hire somebody? I could have just gone online and done all of that myself. I had to get an employee identification number, an EIN number. Oh my gosh, what else? The taxes, you have to pay the state taxes. I had to figure that all out. oh my gosh, there was so much to figure out to muddle
Well,
through.
that's my point, is not necessarily that you have to remember all of those things that you did, that you started, but that there was all these things, that so many people start stuff like this and, they want to be a dog walker, or they want to be, a person that comes in and helps decorate your house, or somebody that just goes in and helps take care of seniors that may live in your house. The problem with those kinds of things, the great thing is that you want to do it, you see a need, you're going to take care of it, but it's all that other stuff that you're just not thinking about that you really need. So one thing you hit on that I really wanted to talk about for a second is the business coach concept, because a lot of people think, oh, well, either I can't afford to pay for a coach, so I'm not going to do that, or I don't really need all that information. I know what I'm going to do. I can, figure it all out. I'll be fine. But let's talk about that coach concept for a minute, because, coach can be a little bit of anything, a little league coach, or, a high school football coach, or a weight loss coach, or a business coach, or a mindset coach, or all different types of things. But you're talking specifically about a business coach. What made you decide to hire somebody to help you? What did they help you with? And how did you find that made changes in your business?
Great questions, Connie. Fantastic questions. I was at a Chamber of Commerce event, and this big burly man came up to me and he said, here are some referrals for you, because I knew you were going to be here at this event, and here are some referrals for you that I want you to call this woman. She needs your help, because he looked me up on my website. Oh, the website. That's another piece.
Yeah,
getting started. Yeah, forgot about that too. He said, and I just started a relationship with this guy, getting to know him, and that he was a business coach. And I saw him here and there, and he kept in communication with me, and especially because of the clients that he sent me. And I knew in my heart that I needed to move out of that that gym, because it was filthy, and I can't stand filth. I can't stand, oh my gosh, I can't stand it. And I can't stand being micromanaged. It just squeezes my soul. And in my communications with Joe, he's like, well, I could help you with that. Let me know. So I decided to hire Joe. And it was a big leap of faith for me, because, again, there's the money thing, which I call that I have a charge on money. If you understand what I mean about that, Connie, it's like when I talk about finances, my heart gets a little fluttered, and I get nervous. And I'm like, okay, Tina, you need to do this, because you don't know all of the ins and outs. Yes, I could probably figure it out, but what I needed most from my coach, Connie, what I needed most was this emotional support. Yes, Tina, you can do this. It's not, you can do this. You deserve to do this. He was my backbone when I didn't have one. No, I did. I had a baby one.
Well, you had one for what you thought you knew you wanted to do and your passion, but there's so many scary pieces that go into this. So what I wanted to talk to you now, I love this, because it goes to exactly what we're trying to talk about, in the respect that entrepreneurs have a bad habit of not reaching out for help, not reaching out for thoughts, mentors, other people's help who've done it before. And so one thing that I love about this conversation is exactly that. You knew from the beginning, you really needed some direction, whether it was, in your case, it was making this leap from going to the gym and doing what you loved with this personal training, to where were you going to take it to the next level? And so you obviously knew you needed that push, that backbone, and that education of information on how to do it as well. So it's that, but it's also a lot of times people run into these, as we talked about at the beginning, these mud puddles, or, these stigmas in our head that stop us from going to the next level. And so I love that you said that. Here's one of the things I wanted to bring up next that we were talking about is the whole Chamber of Commerce concept. People know that you can go to networking, you can do all these different things, but there's a lot of value in these free resources that are out there. And so could you talk just for a minute about that, if you would? I don't want to spend too much time, because I want to talk a little bit more about your business now, but I think it's a valid point if you would share just for a minute with us.
Well, there are some free, are you talking about networking in general or Chamber of
Yeah,
Commerce in general?
exactly. And I think people don't, a lot of people don't like to network because they don't like to go out and introduce themselves
Oh,
and sales
oh,
calls,
oh,
but there's
oh.
value. You met your coach this way, right?
The value of doing networking is insurmountable. I remember one day, I'll tell you a super quick story. My niece, I went to go pick her up from daycare. She must have been 5. And I had to stop and I had to go talk to somebody in the office. And she's standing there all mad and she stomps her feet and she says, Mommy's right. You do know everybody. And because of networking, I know so many people. I can walk down the street and say hello to this one, hello. Everyone knew me or knows me in my community because of the fact that I network and I go out and I shake hands and people and I get involved. I volunteer to do things within the chamber, within the networking groups. And it gets your name as a common name, as a friendly name, because people do business with people that they know and trust. And if you're out there volunteering and networking or leading an organization, which I did that too for the American Business Women's Association for several years, I was the president of that. People know who I am, so they know that when they need help with their weight loss or with their wellness or with personal training, they knew I was a resource, maybe not the right person, but the resource for them. So networking is, and if I can give one piece of advice for networking, okay?
I would love that.
If you are a shy person and you're having a hard time getting out to a networking group, two things. First of all, research and find out who's going to be there. If there's a sign up, find out who's going to be there. Find a referral for that person, just like Joe did for me, and walk up to that person and give them a referral. Second thing, if you are shy, look around the room and see who else in this room is quiet and reserved, and they're having the same heartfelt feelings you are. Do I belong? Do I matter? You go up to them and you very just graciously say, hello, I'm Tina, what's your name? And start up a nice little conversation that's about the weather, something that is general that anyone can talk about. And let me tell you, that person will thank you for years to come that you did that.
Oh, good ones. Very good ones. All right, Tina, I don't want to run out of time and not be able to talk about your cooking and your healthy eating and your pivoting to go online. So talk to us about that pivoting just for a second about that. And then I really want you to share about your cooking demos and your weight loss, how you took that or about what you're doing with that now. But talk for just a second, because I think people are thinking this whole pivoting their business thing, but you had really a little bit of that in your heart, started doing it a little bit, and then were forced to do it, but really glad that you did it the way that you did it. So talk to us a little bit about that real quick.
Okay, so it took me a whole month to actually 6 weeks to actually close the studio. There was a lot of heartfelt stuff going on in there. And I took a lot of online courses that I have coaches now, so I take all of their courses and they talked all about pivoting and my coach 3 years ago told me to close the studio and go completely online. But I had one foot in one and one foot in the other, and I was slowly moving into that online world. And I was hesitant. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Oh, I don't want to leave my personal training clients behind. Oh, I really want to do this. So it forced me. It forced me to pivot. And I'm so glad that I did, because I do weight loss coaching online, one-on-one, as well as in small groups. I am a small group kind of girl. I don't like thousands of people in my courses. I want to make sure that you get results. And, you know, there's a lot of people that have these, you know, inexpensive courses, not that mine are terrible, but that have thousands, and you get lost in the numbers. And I like small groups. I'm sorry, did I get off the subject here about pivoting?
No, you're good. But what I do want you to do is expound on your business now, the business model, how it works, who do you serve, and how do you serve them? Talk to us about your business now, because that I really want you to do is be able to share information about your business too.
You ready? I love to coach entrepreneurial and professional women. because I know the struggles that they're going through. And I'm going to
Mhm.
add one little piece in there, 45 and up, because
Okay.
when that entrepreneurial woman hits 45 and those beautiful, expensive clothes don't fit her anymore, she gets a little upset and she's very stressed out and she is frustrated that nothing is working for her any longer. And when it comes to the I don't do any kind of diet, not at all. I do nutrition plans
Mhm.
that will help you just release the weight naturally and keep it off forever. I will not deny you of your dark chocolate. Never, ever, ever, ever. So understanding the struggles of this entrepreneurial woman, I know how to move you through it and help you get over the emotional struggles that come with the high pressure focused life that we live, and be able to eat healthy and live a vibrant life and free from all of the constraints of diets and should I do this one? Should I do that one? No, I'm going to
Mhm.
clear it. I teach. I'm an educator. I'm going to teach you how to eat healthy for the rest of your life.
That's really exciting, Tina. Tell us a little bit about your cooking too. Is your online cooking part of a program that you offer, or is that for anybody that anyone can be involved in?
So as of now, the people who hire me are corporations who
Hmm.
want to give upbeatness to their employees because of things are a little on the down, people are a little on the downside, and I'm very entertaining when I'm teaching my cooking classes. So
Really? I can't believe that.
very
You have so
entertaining.
much energy.
Yes, and so I have not put these into a course yet, and I'm
Oh,
thinking that's the next step. I'm going to put these into a cooking course to go online and offer to my tribe. Yeah, so I haven't done that
exciting.
yet,
Very
but it's next.
exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Tina, tell us as you've pivoted a little bit, give us a little bit of a big picture, Tina. Like as you're pivoting, obviously the really hard part was closing your studio. Pretty emotional, I'm sure. A lot of things changing. That's a big struggle, a big roadblock. How does one mentally get their brain in the right place to move that on to that next step? How did you shift yourself?
Prayer, meditation, walking, breathing, meditation, walking. I go for a walk every single morning, and I have a breathing exercise that I do that's super simple that keeps me out of what I call the monkey mind and
Mhm.
puts me into a state of acceptance and a state of allowing. And
Mhm.
I allow whatever, say my sister wants to, I know this sounds crazy, but my sister, if she wants to talk to me, my sister who passed, she'll come into me, or somebody, I'll get messages and I'll know what to do and I'll calm down after my walk. And I walk my dogs every morning.
So
So
tell
that,
me, that's amazing and definitely a really basic but very fundamental piece to keep us grounded. Tell us if, as we start to wrap up our conversation a little bit, tell me a piece of advice, entrepreneurial advice that you would offer somebody that has been to your go-to, or two, if you have more than one.
oh, I've got a mouthful of so many things. The first thing that comes to mind, and it's been the foundation of the conversation, is coach. The coach helped me get to where I needed to go, where I didn't have the faith in myself. He had it for me. And I still have a coach now for my business, because if I didn't have that coach, I'd be sitting in a corner crying, getting unemployment right now, probably. And that's not who I am. My
Mhm.
coaches and my coaching program, that's my piece of advice. Find
Mhm.
yourself a mentor of some kind. It doesn't have to be a coach, but a mentor that will guide you. You are not alone in this world. You are not alone. There are so many people who are here to help you, guide you, mentor you with your business. And Connie, I believe you're one of them. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. That's, mentors, I think that people misunderstand that they think that it's this, big mighty person that sits up on a mountain, and it's not. It's just somebody who's been somewhere where you want to go and not being afraid to ask them for help. I mean, coaches obviously get paid to take people on a journey or get them to the next path, but a mentor is even on a basic level. You know, when you hit that struggle, which entrepreneurs do all the time, and they think nobody else is dealing with the same problem they are, and they must just be, you know, they really feel a lot of negativity in that particular situation, that it's really not anything more than asking somebody how to get past something like that. So asking for help. So I appreciate you sharing that. That's really good information, and that's very kind of you. As we wrap up, tell me, Tina, do you have any specials, anything you want to talk about that you want everybody to know about in your business or in maybe a volunteer kind of world? Is there something you want to share with everybody?
Wow. Yes. I have a free gift for everybody if you'd like.
Ooh.
And yeah, so many people that they would love to take off 10 pounds. And, you know, sometimes 10 pounds at a time is easier than, oh, I got to lose this big number. Forget about the big number. Let's just start with 10 pounds. And I have a guide that I put together for you, and you can have it absolutely zero cost. All you have to do, and I'll put it in the notes you told me, it's tinamcdermott.com/10 pounds gone. 10 LBSGONE, and that guide is yours.
Fantastic, Tina. That's so generous of you. Thank you very much. That's really cool. As we finish up, if somebody wants to get in touch with you after today, how do they do that, Tina?
Tina@tinamcdermott.com. I keep things simple.
That's pretty simple. Are you on any social media? Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn?
No, I am on all three. And
Excellent.
The one on Facebook, I have a support group. It's called Finally Thin Forever Weight Loss Support Group. So if you find me there, it's a free group. I post a whole bunch of fun stuff in there and videos and lots of fun that stuff. So
excellent. And the nice thing is, guys, that's scrolling right on the bottom right here. Finally Thin Forever. So if you missed that, that's where that is. That's her Facebook group. And I'm writing notes about that too. And she's also going to, when we finish up, she's going to type in the comments, her website, her Facebook group, so you know where it is, so you know where to find her. If you want to talk with Tina afterwards, you want to touch base about her entrepreneurial journey or about her business, that's exactly where you can find her. The other thing is, we will be broadcasting, this is broadcasting live on YouTube. You can also go back and watch any of the YouTube videos, replays. All you have to do is go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Connie Fuksa, and you'll be able to see it there. You'll also see other interviews we've done and new ones coming up. But to be able to catch a replay of Tina, that's a good place to catch it and to make sure you don't miss anything else. You also can go to my website, conniefuksa.com, and see all of the interviews that we've done, other things that are going on, lots of freebies we have on there as well, trying to help you take your business to the next level, understand some strategic planning, maybe some business concepts, also how to do some expertise development, which is one thing that I work on with clients all the time. So hopefully you guys really enjoyed this fantastic interview with Tina. So much energy and so much good information. Tina, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Connie. Namaste.
Absolutely. Appreciate you very much. Guys, again, if you want to check out any of this stuff, go to my YouTube channel, conniefuksa.com, subscribe there, and make sure you catch this again there. It'll be on LinkedIn and again on Facebook. You guys have a wonderful day. And Tina, thanks again for being my guest.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you. Bye for now.